Hello, good evening. My name is Dr. Trudy Ufondu of Snowspirations Global Health Solutions. Thank you and welcome to this evening's topic of our YouTube. We've all been in this situation. You wanted to adopt a very healthy lifestyle. And one of the things we normally talk about is our body weight. You see, virtually everything we do in life will be reflected in our body weight. So it's possible that one of your New Year resolutions in 2021 is to lose weight, right? Now, when you're losing weight, you are practically losing weight not just because of the looks, you're losing weight for the health purposes. So there are so many health benefits if you can maintain a healthy weight. Now, you woke up in January 1st, 2021. One of your bucket list is to move from 200 to maybe 190, or maybe you were 240 and you want to just go around 200. So you've always wanted to lose this body weight and come back to a particular body weight that can help you to live healthy, that can help you to become pregnant, that can help you to stop yourself from developing a couple of medical problems. But for some reasons, despite all the changes you've made, despite the fact you're actually eating the healthy things, despite the fact you're increasing your activity level, but still, for some reasons, you're not seeing the results. The numbers are not moving. You keep checking the weight, and every time you check the weight, you're just about the same place you are. Maybe previously when you started, you were looking at numbers were going down there, suddenly you plateau. I know we've all been there. I've been there. I've tried a couple of weight loss programs. I've, looked at my food. I've gone to the gym. And there is this spot when we stop noticing changes, despite all our efforts. This is not a place anybody want to be in. But most times we see ourselves in this situation. So this evening, we're going to look at things we can do differently. So we're going to look at 5 tips to help you get healthy weight loss despite hitting your plateau. We are all gonna hit our plateau at some stage. So imagine yourself, 1st of January 2021, New Year resolution. You're finally gonna lose weight, but you've resolved to get this done, and you check your BMI. You're probably hovering around 30. Remember that when you get to 30, you actually have obesity. The healthy BMI is from 18.5 to 24.9. So once your BMI is getting to 30, you have a problem. You have obesity. So you need to work on bringing it down. Now, when you bring down your BMI within the healthy range, there are so many gains apart from looking healthy, apart from fitting into your clothing. You will prevent yourself from developing some health problems. So despite all these efforts, you still can't see that number dropping because most times we normally focus on the numbers on the scale. Be careful. Sometimes something might be happening on the inside. It might not be showing on the scale. So long as you're in the right direction, keep doing that. So let's assume since January you've been doing all this and you fast forward to today, you've cut all the fast food. Remember, fast food will kill you faster. You've revamped your diet, you're eating clean, and you're committed to daily exercise. Probably you go for a walk. But yet, the numbers are not moving. And when you find yourself in this position, this is a place you don't want to be. So you begin to wonder, what's the point of putting in these hours? What's the point of working hard? What's the point of going for a walk? What's the point of eating clean? What's the point of depriving myself of the foods I love eating? Sparing more time, going to the gym, doing this, doing that, and the numbers are not moving. It can be very, very discouraging. It's possible that's where you find yourself this evening. But guess what? There is hope. Now, what we're going to talk about are 5 steps which we can comfortably adopt to see changes. And these are practicable steps. Now, from researchers, we noticed that our body weight comprises mainly of what we eat. So 70% of your weight is coming from your diet. Whether you're eating properly or you're not eating properly, your weight, as I'm talking to you right now, is 70% of what you eat. Now, 30% is from your activity level. Remember that as an adult, you are encouraged to stay at least 30 minutes active out of the 24 hours in the day. Think about that, my people. 30 minutes out of 24 hours. It's not a lot. So you can spread your time into 10 minutes, or you can do a straight 30 minutes exercise. The idea is to get the flow. Now, what's the first step we can actually adopt if you want to see results when you have plateaued? So when you're not seeing those numbers, what is the number one thing you can do? Consider fasting. You see, fasting lately has been embraced as a way of losing healthy body weight. So the concept of observing your 3 square meal when you wake up in the morning, you must eat your breakfast, you must eat your lunch, you must eat your dinner, it's no longer true. What you need to concentrate on is the quality and the duration of what you're eating. Now, you can throw in fasting out there. There's actually a particular type of fasting we call intermittent fasting. So in intermittent fasting, it simply means you have a particular period of not eating at all. Then you have a particular window you start eating. Now, when you extend the period you fast, when you consider fasting, the longer you fast, the better the outcome. Now, I can give you what I use. I use the 16 to 18 hour fasting method. That's the intermittent 16 hours of no food, 8 hours windows of eating. So you can try it out there. If you have noticed that you're not losing weight the way you wanted to lose weight, try intermittent fasting. Make sure your window is longer. So you can try the 16 hours. So let me give you an example. Like for me, when I wake up in the morning, I don't eat. I just stay on coffee. On some days, I just stay on bland coffee. Now, when I'm staying on that bland coffee, it's just a way of keeping you, kind of, alert, going, because I still have to work in the morning. So you can actually start eating from noon. Remember that when you're sleeping, that period of sleeping is a very long, extended period of fasting. So the idea in considering fasting longer is to extend the period you don't have anything in your body. Now, if you wake up, let's assume you woke up by 6 and you were able to hold yourself, you skip your breakfast entirely. So this particular tip actually means skipping one of your meals. It can be your breakfast, it can be your lunch, it can be your dinner. So skipping your breakfast, normally people believe that, once you wake up, you eat something, then once it's afternoon, it's no longer breakfast. That's not true. You can have your breakfast anytime. Breakfast is mainly the food you eat when you've woken up in the day. So it can be in the morning, it can be in the afternoon, it can be in the evening. So try and skip one particular duration of meal. So try the 16 hours of no food and the 8 hours of eating. So for me, what I do is I start eating from 1 when I'm done with my exercise. So I normally use my 30 minutes for work during my break time. So I use the first 30 minutes to teach or write an article or do something. Then I use the other 30 minutes to work. So once I come back from my break, I start eating from 1. Once it's 8 p.m., I stop eating. So if you notice, I fasted, let's say I go to sleep around 12 a.m. So if I sleep from 12 a.m. to 6 p.m., that's to 6 a.m., that's a long period of fasting. Then if I can extend my fasting from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m., I've actually amassed 12 hours. Now, when you start eating from that one, be mindful of what you eat. So when your window of eating opens, eat clean. The problem is people that practice intermittent fasting without getting results. When you start eating, you want to eat all the nonsense things out there. Just be meticulous when your window opens. Once your window opens, eat clean. Once it's 8 p.m., you stop. So the 16 hours of fasting and the 8 hours window of eating, when you consume the normal calorie that your body will use to function, you will help yourself to lose weight faster. If 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. cannot work for you, you can try 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. window. The only thing is, for some people that love staying up late night, if you stop eating by 5 p.m., if you still stay up watching movies or watching TV or in social media, you might be tempted to snack. You should be mindful of this. You should be disciplined. One of the things you can do if you really want to lose your body weight is what? Discipline. So consider fasting longer. It works. When you limit the number of hours you eat, it can actually help you to lose body weight faster. Now, when you're losing your body weight faster, it will also help to lower your blood pressure. This is what we don't want. Most people, as they're getting older, they discover that their blood pressure is going up. So when you fast longer, it helps to reduce your blood pressure. Now, the second tip is to consume lower carbohydrates. So lower content of carbs will also help you to suppress your appetite. So the fewer the calorie in your carbohydrates, the better you will be in a position to do what? To lose more weight. So when you consume low carbs, it will help you to eat fewer by working on your hunger centers. Now you can trick your hunger centers to think that when you drink water or when you drink something without sugar, that is still the same thing. Our hunger center just wants something to be there. So when you drink water or when you stay on coffee or something that doesn't really have much alcohol or much calorie, maybe your tea, it will still occupy the same space that your burger can occupy, that your rice can occupy, that your bread can occupy. So the idea is to feed your hunger center with a replacement. So consume lower carbohydrates. Make conscious effort to do this. When you do this, it will help you to lose weight faster. Now, when I talk about diet restriction in this regards, be mindful of your high carbs, things like raw sugar and other confectionaries or other food that contain high sugar and starches. So things like bread, you might want to avoid them. Things like pasta, your rice. Consume more protein, healthy fats and vegetables. They still contain carbohydrates, but they contain lower carbohydrates. So remember the first point. Watch what you eat. So think about fasting for a longer period. Then watch your carbs intake. When you lower your carbohydrate intake, you tame your appetite. When you tame your appetite, you will help yourself to lose weight faster. Now, number 3 point, this is what everybody is going through right now. Stress. We are all going through a lot of stress lately. Some of the stressors you cannot avoid. If you have a work, if you have a hustle, you have to wake up in the morning, you have to be in the traffic, you have to go and look for money. That's stressing, but that's an unavoidable stress. But there are some stressors you will avoid. Now, when you watch and lower your stress level, you are actually reducing your cortisol level. So cortisol is the stress hormone. When you are stressing a lot, your cortisol level will start going up. When your cortisol level is going up, what is it going to do? It's going to alter your body. When it alters your body, you begin to crave for sugar. So when your cortisol level is going up, your blood pressure will go up. Let me give you an example. Let's assume you're coming out from your house and you saw a lion. What's going to happen? You're going to activate your fright, fear, flight reaction, FF. So you're going to be so afraid. You're going to be so in the mode and you're going to take off, right? When you are in that mode, if we check your blood pressure, no thermometer can even measure your blood pressure because it's going to be very high. Why? Your cortisol level is high. So once you activate that cortisol level and your level of the stress hormone in your body is a lot high, it's going to increase your blood pressure. It's going to allow you to start accumulating sugar. And when you do this, you begin to accumulate more things. You begin to crave for fatty and sugary food. If you notice, whenever you're not in a good place, what do you normally crave for? Food. And what type of food? Fatty food, sugary food, ice cream, cake, soda. When you take them, you become more addicted. So work on your stress level. The ones you can avoid them. The ones you can avoid, manage them properly. Like if you're going to work and you got caught up in traffic, go easy. Life will still continue. So watch your stress level. If you can reduce your stress level, then you are in the right direction. So things that will make you to lose weight faster is when you learn how to respond to ups and downs in life, because whether you like it or not, you're going to be challenged. So think about mindfulness. Think about exercises that will bring you into the now. So when you go to gym, when you go for walk, when you go for run, you drop all your worries. You focus in the now. When you manage your stress in a thoughtful way, it will give you a healthy way of losing your body weight. So this will make it easier for you to lose weight when you stress less. I'm talking about the stressors you can avoid. Some of us go out there wanting to change the world in a day. When you do that, you're not going to put yourself in the right place. Mind the company you keep. There are some companies that will give you more stress. If you have such friends, avoid them. If you notice, when you avoid toxic people, you will feel much better. Everything that happens to us happens from the inside. Now, number 4 point, sleep. This is an area that so many people are not getting it right. So many people are no longer sleeping, especially in this era of social media. We all spend our time in social media. Yesterday, we had an outage and people were freaking out. People were having withdrawal syndrome. Sleep is huge. Sleep is a big nutrition to your brain. Remember that everything that happens in our body is controlled through the brain. So when you deprive the brain of enough sleep, you are helping your body to accumulate more body weight. So sleep is huge. I cannot stop emphasizing on this. Remember, generally, every adult there, it's recommended to have 7 to 9 hours sleep each night. Unfortunately, you might be in a situation where you work during the night and you sleep during the day. The normal time to sleep is in the night. So try and make sure at least you get yourself in the middle. The lower limit of normal is 7. The upper limit of normal is 9. So if you can get 9 hours sleep, if you can avoid stress, if you can eat low-calorie food, if you can fast, when you do this, you're helping your body to become better, lose the weight you don't need. So get less. When you get less sleep, your body will react more by increasing more stress hormone, which is the cortisol. So if you notice, when you are increasing the cortisol level, your body will begin to accumulate more weight. But when you sleep, there are so many repairs that go on in your body. The things you don't need will be, we go out to your metabolism. The things you need, you will get it better, especially for women that want to become pregnant. When you sleep more, you give your female reproductive hormones a chance to perform optimally. So the stress hormone will signal your body to conserve more energy you will use much later. So the watchword is what? When you are stressing, when you are not sleeping properly, you tend to hang on fats, food that will make you feel good. Remember, when you're eating your ice cream, when you're eating your cake, you feel good. When you're eating your pizza, you feel good. But guess what? When you consume them frequently, you will feel good, but you will pay later. There's actually a recent study about sleeping. People that sleep a lot and people that sleep a little. They notice that people that sleep a lot will have increase in weight loss compared to people that sleep less. So when you sleep less, you tend to crave for energy-dense, high-carbohydrate food. When you sleep less, you likely want to take your soda, you likely want to take your pizza, likely want to take cake or ice cream. But when you sleep better, you feel good, you feel refreshed, you don't even remember all these things. You might likely just drink your water or your coffee and you begin to run your day. So if you want to get results, which can break down your plateau, think about your sleep. If you are not sleeping properly, go back to the drawing board. Now, the final point is exercise. At the end of the day, we all have to stay active. Remember, the general recommendation is what? 30 minutes for every adult, whichever one you prefer. Now, we discovered that when you go for aerobic exercises, so aerobic exercises is something like treadmill, running, walking. When you do this, it might not necessarily affect your muscle mass, but it's going to affect your general outlook in regards to weight loss. So increasing your activity level more. So if you used to do 30 minutes and you notice that this 30 minutes is not working, you can come back and you can put extra other 30 minutes. Now, when you're exercising, be careful. Don't go overboard. When you go overboard, you begin to punish your body. When you punish your body will want to repair the body. So some people that can go extreme with exercise will actually notice they're not losing weight. So go on moderate form of exercise. When you exercise more, but it's kind of a gradual build-up, you are going to help yourself to burn more calories. So increase the duration of your exercise, but be careful. Don't go overboard. Don't go to the gym and you're jumping up and down. Don't become a gym rat. Just go easy. A particular 10-month study people that actually just only exercise without changing their diet. We studied 141 people. People that have obesity, people that have overweight. So if you have obesity, it means that your BMI is 30 and above. If you have overweight, it means that your BMI is from 25.9 up to below 30. Now, we followed up 141 people by just asking them to engage in cardio. Cardio is a form of exercise you can do, and it will increase your blood rate and all those stuff, your heart rate. Now, we noticed that participants who actually engage in regular exercise, just eating the normal food, actually lost more calories, actually lost more body weight compared to people that were not participating in exercise. So when you exercise more, you lose more calories, you lose more body fats, you lose more body weight. So increase your exercise duration, but be careful. Don't go overboard. So when you exercise, when you sleep better, when you avoid your stress, when you consume low carbohydrate, and when you consider fasting for a longer period, you might be in a better position to defeat your inability to lose body weight. It works like magic. So when you go back today, try and consider fasting. Go for intermittent fasting. Try the 16 hours of long fasting. Try eating within 8 hours. And when you're eating, eat healthy stuff. Now consider low carbohydrates. Avoid all added sugars. Sleep. Avoid stress. Then increase the duration of your exercise. If you can practice these 5 steps religiously, with discipline. Remember, you didn't take one day to amass all those body weight. So it's not a quick fix. Anybody selling you any quick fix weight loss, run away. You are better served forming a habit. So we've had so many people that over time, they change their lifestyle. When you can do this consistently for 6 months, any habit you adopt and you continue doing it for 6 months, that's a healthy habit. Before you know it, will become a part of you. Just like you brush your mouth when you wake up in the morning, is a habit you formed from cradle. So not right now, any day you don't brush your mouth, you don't feel good when you go out there. Just like you take your bath every morning. Any day you don't take your bath out there, you don't feel good. So in the same vein, anytime you don't eat properly, anytime you don't go for walk, anytime you don't go for a run, you don't feel good. So adopt the 5 steps and you will get results. Okay? All right. So let's take care of your questions. Let's see what we have. Good evening, Doc. You've been sending email to the address, okay? And it keeps bouncing back. So our correct email, you probably didn't get it correctly. Our right email is snowspirations. Snowspirations@gmail.com. Very easy. You can't miss this, okay? So you can go back and send us another email, snowspirations@gmail.com. Then we are going to respond to you, okay? All right, so please ask me your questions. How can a woman whose weight plateau is caused by PCOS reduce her body weight? It's still going to be the same thing that you have to do. Now, remember that in polycystic ovarian syndrome, for some reasons, the hormones you're producing is more androgens, more male-dominated hormones. And when you have those type of hormones, it's going to affect the production of your eggs. So you're likely not going to ovulate. So women that have polycystic ovarian syndrome, most of them will not be producing eggs. Why? Because you have a kind of disruption in your normal hormonal function. So you have hormone imbalance. So when you have hormone imbalance, it means that your estrogen is not within the normal range, your progesterone is not within the normal range, your FSH is not within the normal range, your LH is not within the normal range. So what happens? You're not going to ovulate. So one of the ways we manage polycystic ovarian syndrome is to lose your body weight. So you are actually in the category of women that will adopt the 5 steps. Polycystic ovarian syndrome is a known cause that can lead to infertility. Thankfully, we can do something about it. Okay, so you need to focus on going on fasting, reducing the quantity of the calories of the carbs you consume, sleeping, avoiding stress, going for your exercise, increasing the intensity. If you can do this and you are on a good outlook and you follow the drugs they will give you. So most women that will have polycystic ovarian syndrome, we can give them some other drugs which can help them. But don't always rely on drugs to get results, okay? What tips can you give us to sleep better? Okay, so this is what you need to do. You need to be disciplined. Now, when you want to sleep, make sure you've done everything you plan to do for the day. Okay, so you probably went to work, you came back, you did house chores, you ate, you bathed, you've done everything on social media. So what do? You put yourself in sleep mode. So what's sleep mode? You go to a room that is dim. So you go to your bed, you switch up your phone, and you put yourself in a sleep mode. The problem is you can't sleep when you have your phone in your hand. You can't sleep when you're in Facebook. You can't sleep when you're in WhatsApp. You can't sleep when you're in Instagram. And it's addictive. So you might go there, you're combining a lot of things, and your body might actually be tired, but you haven't put yourself in a sleep zone. So if you take a cold shower, you've had a very stressful day, you have some food, you drank some water, you have probably caught up with news. Then you tuck yourself in a well-laid bed, and you switch off the light, and you switch off your phone. When you do this, you are going to form that habit. But the problem is, virtually everybody is guilty of this. We have our phones in our hands 24 hours. The first thing we do when we wake up is what? To pick our phone. If we are going to do number one, our phone is in our hands. If we're going to do number two, our phone is in our hands. So your phone and social media and internet has disrupted a lot of things. So if you form the habit of structuring yourself or doing particular things within a particular time, like if you want to be disciplined, when you get to work, within your work hour, you don't necessarily need to use your phone. There are some organizations that can enforce that, but you need to discipline yourself because you need your sleep. Remember, you need to have at least 7 hours, but the maximum recommendation is 9 hours. How many of us get 9 hours sleep? I don't even get the 9 hours sleep. The 7 is even difficult to get. So when you put yourself in an environment that will encourage sleep, you sleep better. You can't sleep when you're in a room that the whole light is on, music everywhere, everybody making noise. You cannot sleep. And when you don't sleep, you're going to turn up a lot of things that will work against your body. Okay? All right. How can food cravings be conquered? Now, this is where you have to employ your higher centers, right? Discipline is key. Discipline. Think about your immediate goal. Think about your intermediate goal. Think about the long-term goal. Understand that when you don't do all this, in as much as you're going to look messy physically, something is dying inside of you. So when we're talking about body weight and loss, it's not necessarily about you looking good. It's about the fact that you can develop chronic conditions. You can die. So talking about food craving, you have to first of all understand the reason why you're eating food. Are you living to eat or are you eating to live? If you understand that you're eating to live, then you control your cravings. Now, certain things are very difficult. Now, what you can do is to address yourself, okay? And if need be, you can go for counseling. Okay, there are certain things, when you see people doing the wrong things, you might think, oh, why do you keep doing this? It's human nature. Sometimes we know the right things, but we still don't do the right things. Food can kill you, and food can save you. Most people go to food for comfort. You're heartbroken, you're not happy, you don't have money, but you might have money. And unfortunately, the fast foods are very, very cheap. The foods that will kill you easily, very, very cheap. The food you will eat to live, very expensive. So even with your $1, you can easily go and buy things that will kill you. And when you're eating it, you feel good. So the more you eat, the more you consume it. So food craving has to come in with discipline. Discipline is very important. Let's assume you want to start your family. You haven't started your family, and you know fully well that your BMI is high. And you know fully well that when you're in 30 BMI, the possibility of becoming a mother, it's not high. So you need to motivate yourself. You need to understand what's on the other end if you do the right things. So if you know you have been wanting to have your family, and the reason why you don't have your family is because of your lifestyle, will you think about food craving? No. You will go and do what you need to do. Okay? What's my take on no carbs diet? That's not good. We need all the food components. We need all our nutrients. You are not supposed to avoid any food component. So you don't do avoidance of carbohydrates, avoidance of protein, avoidance of fats, avoidance of any other thing. You need all the components of your food, but in the right quantity. When you deprive yourself of carbohydrate, there are roles that carbohydrates will play in your body. When you don't provide your body carbohydrates, your body will begin to break down a lot of things, which can harm you on long run. When you deprive yourself of carbohydrate, it can affect the brain, it can affect the kidneys, it can affect the liver, it can affect the totality of you. You can have problems moving forward. So the watchword is not avoiding carbs. The watchword is what type of carbohydrates are you eating? Is it low carbohydrate? Is it healthy carbohydrate? Is it easily digestible carbohydrates? So don't avoid any food component. Still eat your carbohydrates, but eat clean, low-calorie carbohydrates. Okay? Is it true that eating after 8 p.m. causes weight gain? Not true. Remember, like I said, we have to debunk that theory of breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Anytime you choose to eat within your 24 hours, just eat clean. Now, let me give you an example. You can start eating by 8 p.m., right? Probably if you're strong, maybe you're someone that worked during the night and you sleep during the day. So assuming you walk throughout the whole night, you manage to keep yourself without food, and you opened your eating window by 8 p.m., are you going to have all the problems in the world? No. So you can adopt your 16 8-hour window of intermittent fasting. So it doesn't matter when you start eating. The problem is what you're eating when you start eating. So it doesn't matter if you start eating by 8 p.m. The problem is if all the time you woke up in the morning, you've been eating and you continue eating by 8 p.m., that's where the problem will start. So the longer you don't put food in your body, the better you're going to get results. So the longer your fasting period, the more you're going to get good outcome. But if you eat food frequently, you are going to cause what we call insulin resistance. And insulin is a hormone that actually drives all the body weight in our body. So the watchword is what? What you eat when you start eating. So if you notice, my first tip is extended fasting duration. So you can go for 8 hours of eating and 16 hours of no eating. Disciplined. When you do this, you begin to see results. Okay? All right. Diet programs often say you should eat more slowly. Does this really? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. But please, take time to masticate. Take time to chew your food. People don't chew their food. They are in a hurry. It's important you chew your food exactly the way it's meant to be. When you don't do that, you don't derive all the nutrients from the food. But it doesn't matter if you're chewing it faster, if you're chewing it slower, it doesn't matter. Now, another thing you have to make a habit of doing is drinking a lot of water. People no longer drink water. We drink a lot of soda. If you notice you're not drinking water conscientiously in the day, if you notice in your body you have some changes. So form the habit of using water to occupy space. Remember your hunger centers, like I told you. Your hunger center just want to have food there. It can be water, it can be alcohol, it can be anything, but at any point in time, once that your hunger center is activated, all it wants to have is what? Something to occupy the space. So your hunger centers can have water there and they will feel good. They can have ice cream there and they will feel good. They can have pizza there and they will feel good. So the watchword is what? What do you put in your hunger centers when it's activated? Okay? All right. How much weight can one gain each month due to water retention? Now, your weight gain and loss is dependent on your BMI. So I can't throw a number out there. I have to know your BMI. Remember, your BMI is body mass index. We use your body weight and your height to calculate that. Now, anything good, if it's done in the excess, can cause problem. So in as much as I will advise you to drink water, if you drink excessive water, you can have water intoxication. But mainly, it's very rare. What we actually see is the opposite, which is dehydration. So fewer people that probably abuse drinking water can have water intoxication. So your ability to gain weight from water is pretty much negligible because water weight is something you can easily lose. Very, very easy to lose. Okay? All right. Why is it harder to lose weight each time you gain it back? Because you lost the weight the wrong way. It's good to go gradual, stepwise, and weight overnight. Anytime you're losing weight overnight, you're putting a lot of pressure on your liver. You're putting a lot of pressure on the kidneys, on the brain. So it's good to go gradually and sustain what you've lost. There are some people that within 1 month, they've lost 20 pounds and they begin their normal life again and they gain 40 pounds. So it's all in the method. Once you are consistent, it might not go off overnight, but anyone you've lost them for good. So you wouldn't want to lose 10 pounds, then you gain 20. You are better served losing 5 pounds and you continue losing, and maybe before the end of the year, you lose 10 pounds. You are better served than losing 10 pounds and gaining 40. It's tough. So it's all in how you go about doing it. How often should you try? How often should you weigh yourself? Don't go becoming obsessed with weighing yourself. Believe me, the mind is a terrible tool. Don't just focus on the numbers. Focus on your activities. Focus on doing the right things. So don't just go every day, you weigh the scale and you do stuff. There are so many things that can give you false outlook. You can lose water weight and you think you succeeded and you can relax. You can hit, bottom, you can hit your plateau or you can hit your comfort zone and you think you've achieved something, or you might not see that number moving, but you know within yourself you're doing something. So don't go weighing yourself frequently. Personally, I'll ask you to probably weigh yourself just once in a month. Believe me, it works. So the more you focus on the numbers, if the numbers are not going, you're not going to be encouraged. But there are so many people that still do the right things. You notice that your body is fitting properly. You notice that you have more energy. You notice that you're more fit, but your body weight might be telling you lies. There are so many factors that play a role in your body weight. The most important thing is to do the right things at all times. Okay? All right, so my time is up. Thank you for coming. Remember, today we looked at the 5 steps that can help you to beat your plateau. So if you've plateaued, if you are no longer losing weight, despite all the efforts you're doing, try engaging in longer fasting. So try intermittent fasting. Watch the level of carbs, low carbs, low carbs. It helps. Now, avoid stress. Stress will lead you to accumulate more body weight. Now, sleep is huge. You can't mess with your sleep. Try at least to get 7 hours sleep. Now, increase the duration of your exercise. Still make sure you get at least, 30 minutes of exercise every day. If you can do these 5 steps, you are on your way to sustainable weight loss. You are better served when you have sustainable weight loss, manageable, gradual weight loss, not crash program. Your weight loss is not a competition, is not a dash, it's a marathon, it's a journey. So if you lose it gradually, you're gonna sustain it. And remember, when you're losing your body weight, do it for the health of it. Okay, so thank you so much. Does SGHS have document on weight loss? We've actually had a masterclass on weight loss. So the PDF is out there and my admin is going to make it available. If you have a need for it, send us an email at snowspirations@gmail.com. Okay, now if today is the first day of attending our YouTube live presentation, thank you so much. Please, before you leave today, click on the subscription button. When you're done doing that, click on the notification. The essence is to know when I will come live. We normally come live on Tuesdays like today by 7 p.m., then weekend by 12 p.m. Eastern time. So twice in a week, you will get very important tips about your health and you'll live healthy. Until I see you on Saturday, thank you for coming and God bless you and enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye-bye for now.